It is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, and intern Sawyer along for the ride as well, as we have arrived safely at Hump Day on a shortened week because of the holiday. Everything good?
You love Hump Day. Everything is good here, Chris. I'm excited. I head out on the road soon to call some Twins games.
Yes.
I'm trying to plan a little something for Olivia and I. So a lot of stuff going on right now, but a lot of good ball to talk about with my good friend Chris Rose.
Oh, do you need any help from the comments section on what to plan for? What is this for? Just is it just a cuz thing?
It's personal. Okay?
Excuse.
I mean, sorry. Not really. I just don't really want to talk about it right now.
Okay, well, fine. Then we'll move on. How about this? We start off with the tip of the cap. Good for the Detroit broadcast of the Tigers game. Everybody knows how much I love Benetti and Andy Dirks. They do a great job. Well, on Tuesday night, Bomel, the Giants manager, had some issues out there with home plate umpire Tony Randazzo. And instead of cutting the hot mic on the field, they allowed us to listen to manager v. umpire.
Then don't say it to me. Don't say it to me. Don't say it to me. You did. You said I'm better than you. You are. You're not tonight. That's why I'm bitching. That's why I'm bitching.
Our microphones win again. And Tomboy. Because the breakdown is coming for maybe both today and yesterday.
He's talking about Phil Cuzzy's Monday implosion with Javi Baez. So that's great stuff, isn't it?
This is what I keep telling people. And I maybe I'm off on this because sometimes I get pushback when I mention this, but I love manager umpire interaction. It's fun, man. It's just part of the intensity of the game. So this is great for me. You know I love this stuff.
When Bob Melvin goes, "You told me to be better than that." Well, you're not better than that tonight. That's great. That's good.
I know some of the things they say, you're like, when you transcribe it, you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But in the moment, you're like, all right.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy, get to work.
It's fun. Like, you got to think about it, Chris. When you're in an argument, you know what always happens. Like, you say what you say, then afterwards, like, shit, I should have said this.
Well, I told you, we've got a great thing coming out with Torey Lovello where I sat down and went over Jimmy's breakdown of him throwing out all the umpires recently. That's going to be coming out. It might come out today. I don't know exactly which day it's coming out, but it is really good. He takes us inside the whole thing about how he was feeling, what he was thinking, all sorts of stuff. It's good. It's good. Let's start off with the good for the Philadelphia Phillies. They won 2-0 over the Atlanta Braves in the first of a 3-game set. The bad news is Bryce Harper got dinged up. Now, I suppose the good news is that the x-rays were negative. He might even try and play tonight. Who knows? But the pitch from Spencer Strider up and in on that surgically repaired right elbow. He was down in immense pain, had to be taken out of the game. It looked horrible. Here's Strider on how the incident unfolded.
I just assumed he had a guard on and, was just pissed that I hit him and then saw him in pain. And that was tough. So I'm definitely relieved that he's okay. And, he's one of the best players, this century. So needs to be on the field. It's best for the game, and it's good for us. It's good to compete against.
Classy, right?
I just, like he's saying all the right things, and the tone is right, the demeanor is right. So yeah, either he's a really good actor, or he just missed with one.
Wait a second. What are you?
I am on the fence about this one, Chris. I really, really am.
Really?
Yeah, like. To me, it seems like I don't know if there was intent to go up and hit Harper and to get him out of the game. I don't think that was the case. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there are times when a pitcher's like, fuck it, I'm going inside. And whatever happens, happens.
Wow. Well,
he's got pretty dang good control, Chris. And, excuse me?
I think he has hit 4 batters in just over 9 innings work this year.
He hasn't felt his best this year, and so maybe that's what it is. But I think there are times you're just like, I'm going to go inside and whatever happens, happens. And I think that might have been the case. So I don't think he did it on purpose, but I also don't think he really cares that he hit Bryce Harper. I don't think he cares. If he broke something and he was out for an extended period of time, that's different. But in his mind, this is what he's thinking. Like, hey, Bryce Harper's going to come up to bat against me now, and he's gonna think about that pitch. That's all pitchers want. They want you to be weary of an inside pitch to get you off your game a little bit, get you off of the plate. So yeah, like, he said all the right things, but I think he's fine with hitting Bryce Harper.
I mean, you're basically laughing at it. You think that he wasn't telling the truth.
I mean, he wasn't lying. I think all the things he said was true, that he wasn't trying to hit him, that Harper is one of the better players this century, that the game is better with him on the field. All those things are true, but I also don't think he cares that he hit him, Chris.
Well, don't pitchers have to think that way? That, like, if I'm going to make my money and I'm going to help my team win, I have to be able to live inside. I think that something that has been terribly lost in this game is the ability to throw inside. I'm not talking about hitting guys. I'm talking about the ability to move guys off the plate successfully, that they're so afraid.
Oh, I don't think I think people still do it. I think it's maybe it's gone. We've gotten away from it a little bit because we know we're way more aware of just like where the cold zone is. So guys just try to throw it there all the time. But I still think guys go up and in for effect. Maybe not to the extent they used to. But that's still part of the game.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments section. Do you think that Strider was really bothered by throwing and hitting Harper or not? By the way, the rest of Strider's press conference was great. He was talking about how much he loves pitching in Philly because they know his name.
He's leaning into that, man, a lot.
It is actually pretty good.
He called it like pitching at home.
Yes, he said because they know my name, they know about my family. It was very funny. That part was great. So on the Philly postgame show, I want you to listen to Ruben Amaro, who is not only a former major leaguer, his dad was a major leaguer. He has been a coach. He has been a GM. He has held basically every role you can have in a baseball organization. Here's his take on the situation.
Have the command to get in, but someone will pay for that. I gotta believe there's a lot of baseball to play against the Atlanta Braves, and I will tell you that somebody on that mound will do the job by retaliating. I'm not sure when. They have plenty of time to do it, but it certainly should happen because for me, even if it wasn't purposeful to hit him, I think that the retaliation sometimes is the right thing to do.
Are you asking for a reaction?
Yeah, I do.
I agree that I think they will retaliate. Now, you know my stance on this. I don't like pitchers throwing at hitters. I think it's stupid. Mainly, I say that when a guy like has a bunch of success against you and you want to hit him now. I think that is, there's one term that comes to mind that I'm not going to use that language on this show. But I think this is more of an old school baseball team. Like the Phillies have some dogs in that rotation that have been around for a while. I think Rob Thompson has been around for a while. And I think that they have a more old school approach to the game than other teams would have. And it's like a rivalry. I think there will be some retaliation. And I agree. Sometimes I do believe that stuff like that is just. Again, I don't think Spencer Strider hit him on purpose. But I don't think, again, I think that there was intent to go up and in to maybe move the feet. And sometimes you got to protect your player. So maybe I'm going back on things I've said before about I don't want guys to hit. I don't want that to happen because I don't want anyone to get hurt, because surely the guy that's going to get hit is not Spencer Strider. It's going to be someone that has nothing to do with this at all. But there are times, guys will say the game polices itself. I think this is one of the times where if I saw this happen, I'd be like, kind of expected it. And as long as it's done the right way, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with it. If they go out and hit Acuna in the butt, I think that there's a message sent and that's it. And then it's over. That's what I think.
So what is the message? Let's just play this out for a second. If that is indeed the message, Is the message get better when you're throwing inside? Is it make sure you stay away from our stars? Like, I just want to make sure I'm writing this in the unwritten rule book the right way.
It's an interesting message. I get it. I get why it seems stupid to it's to some people. I think the message would be, yeah, like if you're going to come inside, like throw it, don't hit somebody. And you have to be careful. You can't just be a team that thinks you can to our team just come and throw inside and hit guys whenever you want. Like there has to be a thought behind it, because if you're a team and your pitchers start hitting everybody offensively, like most likely it's the retribution is going to come, and it can create a little bit of divide in the clubhouse between the pitchers and the hitters, especially nowadays when pitchers don't even step inside the box. So I think that there are times where that message needs to be sent, and this could be one of the times, Chris.
So there's part of me that feels like it's so archaic and outdated with that philosophy.
It is.
It really is. And then I think about what it could mean in terms of galvanizing teams. Like that dude got our back. Like Zach Wheeler is arguably the best pitcher in the National League. Has been over the last few years. He's certainly in the discussion of top 3. I don't care where you want to put him, whatever. So he's on the mound throwing the first pitch tonight. If he takes care of it and no warnings have been issued, I suppose they could throw him out if they get together and they deem it intent. I mean, the same umpires worked last night's game, so it's not like, I wonder what happened last night. They all saw it for themselves. So if Acuna steps in and Wheeler wants to take it into, and he throws right at his hip and puts Acuna on first base, what do you think the umpires should do?
I mean, this is a feel situation. I feel like, okay, where did it hit him? Like obviously if he hits him first pitch, they know it's with intent. But there are times like umpires need to get the freak out of the way, Chris. I feel like I'm talking old school on this.
You are. You have totally.
I really am.
If there's intent, they can throw you out.
Yeah. So yeah,
warning.
I mean, I don't like that for the Phillies, and maybe they wait till the next series with the Rays, and so nothing can happen. Maybe. Or maybe if we see tonight somebody on the hill, there's an opener for Zach Wheeler. He just tossed. Somebody I was going through comments on social media, and they're like, man, the one guy that we need is hurt right now. They're talking about Jose Alvarado.
Yeah.
Because he would do it.
Okay. I don't even.
So you're out
on
it. You don't want to see Acuna get hit. Obviously, he just came back.
Yeah, I don't love it. I just think it's so outdated and makes the sport feel a little amateurish. But
okay, to me, I get outdated, and maybe I don't like it when it's a pitcher just mad because he's getting hit.
Oh yeah, that's
so
ridiculous.
I think a little bit of protecting your team is still part of the game, and we could say archaic, but isn't that why we love hockey? Because they still fight. Like
they really don't.
Oh, they still do, Chris. They drop the gloves, and now they break it up maybe quicker than they used to, but they fight.
A little bit.
I think
fighting is a little different than a guy who's got a baseball and has the ability to throw it 98 miles an hour. I think that's different. That's like, okay, you go out there and I'll chase you down.
I don't love it as a hitter, Chris. Trust me.
Right.
It's like, you're like, hey, dude, you screwed up. Now I got to pay for it. But that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like,
okay,
maybe if you're the Phillies, this is how you think about it. Maybe if you're the Phillies, you're like, let's cause a little clubhouse commotion over there. Let's hit Ronnie, and then have Ronnie and Strider and then Snitker getting into it and saying, like, dude, that's your fault I got hit. Like, there are things, you think about things like that.
Okay. It's possible.
Let us know what you think today, baby. Woo!
Did you have a problem with what Ruben Amaro suggested out there? Do you like it?
I don't think anytime you say you should hit someone, I don't like. If I leave myself out saying, hey, they could happen.
Yeah, the word retaliation gets a little ugly for me. Just a little.
I think there's a lot of guys that, maybe it is an old school thing. And again, like I don't want to get hit ever, or don't want anyone to get hurt. But if you do it the right way, I think there is still maybe a little bit of place in the game for it.
Big juicy comments section to let us know how you're feeling about this, because Andy thinks something's going to happen tonight. I don't, with Zach Wheeler on the mound, but we'll see.
No, Chris. I think maybe let me do a prediction here. Third inning. Ronald Acuna comes up. 2 outs. Nobody on base.
Where's it then?
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
We've been predicting a lot of stuff with Ronald Acuna lately. Let's see if it comes to fruition. On to the National League Central. Cubs walked it off in extras against Colorado Rockies. In fact, the entire division won on Tuesday. Great night for the NL Central. Cards got a big fly from Nolan Arenado to break a late game tie against the Baltimore Orioles. They ended up winning. LA De La Cruz blasted a couple of homers. Reds win over the Royals. But Christian Yelich, he took the cake.
Fly ball to deep right. It is way back and out of here. First career walk-off home run for Yelly, and it is grand.
Great call. Love it. Love the excitement. First walk-off homer for Yelly?
Yeah, I guess. That's kind of crazy to think about. I got 2, Yelly. Step it up, bro. He's like, I got an MVP, so shut up. And $200 million.
Yeah, and that one came against the pitcher.
I got 1 against the pitcher. Your Guardians, Indians at the time.
Yeah, Brian Shaw.
Brian Shaw, yeah. I love
Better.
that for Yelly, man. If there's one guy that maybe you don't root for your other teams, there's one guy I think you could root for, it's Christian Yelich. Just an awesome person. All
right, so let's focus on the Brewers, Reds, and Cards. Our intern Sawyer gets a passing grade for coming up with this question. I think he crushed it. Out of those 3, which one is most likely to catch the Cubs? Which one is most likely to be a trade deadline buyer? Which one is most likely to be a trade deadline seller?
I kind of had a difficult time with this question. I guess we'll start off with who's going to catch the Cubs. In my mind, Chris, I'm like, man, like the Reds should be that team. But I think the answer is the Cardinals. I think they've just been playing better baseball. They've also played one of the hardest schedules to date. And they have one of the easiest remaining schedules left in baseball. So, yeah, they're only 3 games back of the Cubs. And, Chris, they play them 13 more times. Now, the other teams play them 10 times apiece. So there's still plenty of baseball in this division left to be played. But the Cardinals have just – they've done it on all sides of the game. So I think they're the right answer, and that has to be music to St. Louis Cardinals fans' ears after what they kind of went through in the offseason. They've been playing good baseball. So I think it's them.
To me, the right answer is none of them. But if I had to pick one, I would agree with you that I think the Cardinals, they've been the most surprising team in baseball. I don't have any problem saying it. I think they've been getting consistent at bats. They've had some guys who have had very, very good seasons. I'm not going to say elite, but all very good. If you look at them statistically, they've got a lot of guys who are above league average in OPS. Not every team, not every contending team can certainly say that. Their starting pitching has been sneaky consistent, which I really like. I haven't really paid much attention to their bullpen since they went on that really, really good 8-day run. So I have to apologize there. Cardinals fans, let us know how well that bullpen has been doing. So they've been a great story. I just don't think anybody's going to stick with them with the Cubs.
That's like an answer that I would give, Chris. And you get mad at me when I do stuff like that.
No. I did pick a team, but I don't think that any of the teams.
Okay.
So to me, the answer is none of them. But since we have to pick one, I will do the exercise. You sometimes
see, the question was which one is most likely. It's not is there going to be a team.
The Cardinals are the one most likely. That is my answer.
You're doing me. I'm doing it back to you right there.
Although I do want to say that I don't think anybody will catch the Cubs.
Someone said yesterday in our comments that I answer your questions so defensively all the time.
Which one is most likely to be a trade deadline buyer?
This is okay. Oh man. I'm going to do the same thing that you just did. I don't think any of those teams, any of the 3 teams will be a buyer at the deadline. I don't.
Really? You don't think that if the Cardinals are close, I think they will add.
What? Tell me what they're going to add.
I think they would add another you can always add a bullpen arm. I think that they would make.
No, Chris. I was trying. This is a really good one. I just don't think I see any of those 3 teams adding at the deadline. I was like, maybe Terry Francona can convince the Reds to add, and maybe put somebody in their bullpen. But to me, I don't see any of those teams as a buyer. So I guess if I'm going to give an answer to this, I guess it'll be the Cardinals because they're the team I picked that is closest. And are they in a playoff spot right now? I think they are, actually.
Oh,
let me see.
What are they, 30?
Wild card coming up. They're tied with the Giants for the third wild card right now.
Okay.
So I guess I'd say Cardinals just because they're playing the best of those three teams. But again, I guess I'll do a C Rose here and say I don't think any of those teams will add.
No, I think you answered it right. I'm with you on that. So what's the last one? Who's most likely to be a trade deadline seller?
The Milwaukee Brewers. I think that's just the way they operate. If they feel like they're not going to be in it, and even if they are in it, and sometimes this will galvanize the Brewers, I feel like, if they trade somebody away, they don't approach the game. They don't do it with a heart, if you will. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I think they just approach it as a business. And sometimes a business needs to sell off some of its pieces. I think if there's going to be a team that sells off, the only one I could say is the Reds could get rid of some of their bullpen. Maybe why am I forgetting his name right now? Emilio Pagan, maybe he could go somewhere. But I guess the Reds or Brewers. Because I don't see the Cardinals getting out of it. If the Cardinals are out of it by the deadline, then it's them, obviously. Because they have some pieces that could really, really bring back players. But if they're going to be in it, then I guess I'll go Brewers.
I will say Brewers, and in fact, I am squarely focused on Freddie Peralta.
Yeah.
He's had a good year.
I was going to say Tobias Myers, too. There's got to be something going on there. There's weird vibes.
Yeah, but that one, if I'm a team, you have to have another team that's interested. Other teams would love to have Freddie Peralta, and I think there's a lack of starting pitching that's going to be available in this market. I think there's going to be a flood of relievers. I don't think there's going to be a ton of starters that you feel great about going after. Freddie Peralta is one of those, in part because of the fact that he doesn't make any money, man. He makes $8 million a year.
Yeah.
$8 million a year. So
gross. Who wants $8 million a year? What are you making this year?
Not that anymore. Not that anymore. I don't know. There's some other guys out there. We've talked a lot about Sandy. Andrew Heaney will be traded. But Freddie Peralta is a guy I think you'd want to go after.
What's the most money you ever made in your life in 1 year?
I don't know. Today's episode is sponsored by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip, so why not make the most of it? With over 4,000 hotels worldwide, Best Western is there for every detour, destination, and unexpected turn along the way. So whether you're hitting the road, traveling for work, or chasing the next big game, there's a room waiting for you. But a great stay isn't just about rest. It's about what comes next. A great stay doesn't just help you recharge. It sets the tone for the early wake up, the late night arrivals, or the last minute change of plans. Best Western gets it. Traveling isn't one size fits all. It's for the planners and the procrastinators, the loyalty point collectors, and the I just booked it crowd. So whether you're traveling solo with your friends or with the entire roster, Best Western has you covered. So pack your bag, cue up the playlist, and hit the road. Life's a trip. Make the most of it. Where? At bestwestern.com. All right. Really interesting story. We mentioned the Reds and what they did, taking care of the Royals. Brady Singer, welcome back to Kansas City, 7 strong. They won 7-2, I believe. Royals, 2 runs, no extra base hits. And so questions continue to swirl around. When the heck is Jack getting up here? That is JACHR, because that is all their top prospect does is hit homers. He got moved up from AA to AAA recently and had a week where he hit 5 homers. He hit 9 in AA. He's got 5 already in AAA. Dude is a monster. He's a social media pull when you take a look at him walking around in his shorts with these tree trunk legs. Here's the GM talking about the kid's future.
You want the player to be as prepared as he can when he comes to the major leagues. It's not fair to any player, whether it's Jack Caglione or whoever. When a team maybe scuffling offensively to try to put it on him and hope he's going to come save the day. The best way to break any player into the major leagues is to try to bring him up when the team's hot. offensively scoring some runs. That's not why he's not coming up right now. We just want him to face more advanced pitching in AAA, see how they game plan for him, how he adapts and makes adjustments, not just game to game, but at bat to at bat.
You good with that explanation?
Some of it. I mean, like, I understand you want to see him against better pitching in AAA. I don't think the stuff is different necessarily AA to AAA, but like he said, the execution of the pitches is better at AAA because we're gonna have some veterans, guys that have been in the big leagues. So I can see him wanting to see a little bit more in AAA. I don't buy the, hey, we got to bring this guy up when the offense is hot. Does he know his offense might never be hot this year? Right?
That's
but Michael Garcia, nice start to the year. Bobby Jr., great. I think Vinny's played better as of late. He's actually, I think he's raking in the last 20 games. So what are you waiting for? I'm okay with you saying, if you want to say, I just want to see him hit AAA pitching, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But the whole, I'm not going to bring it up unless the offense is hot. I'm not there. And you know what? Some guys, depending on the player, some guys might welcome that challenge. I want to be the guy that, maybe I'm not going to be the entire offense because guess what? We have, a top 3 baseball player in the game on our team. But I want to go and help win games, and his game is offense. So let him do what he does. So I think there's some truth in there, but again, the whole wait to the offense is hot thing I'm out on that.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, it's not going to happen. Their last 13 games, Kansas City has scored more than 3 runs 3 times. They've scored more than 4 runs 1 time. They are tied for the fewest runs scored in the American League. They have the fewest home runs hit in all of baseball. They have 33 home runs so far. I mean, we've played over 55 games.
Where has he been playing in the minor leagues?
He's been playing more outfield.
He's been trying to get in the outfield, right?
Yeah, you know who's been working with him? Where's my favorite?
Alex Gordon?
No.
Mike Moustakas.
Rusty Kuntz.
Rusty Kuntz. Wait, what's he doing? The Rover now?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
God,
where's my Rusty Kuntz bobblehead? It's got to be somewhere around it. I got to find that thing. I'll find it somewhere. It is an amazing, amazing bobblehead. And if you're new to sports, yes, his name is Rusty Kuntz. Okay, part of this is on JJ and his crew. I know there might even be a little bit of a reluctance because he's not an outfielder, and that is such a cavernous ballpark. You have to have guys running down. But 2/3 of their starting outfield from opening day ain't even on the big league roster anymore. They sent down Melendez. They just DFA'd Hunter Renfroe. They have not done a good job fixing this outfield. And then when you bring up Tags, you essentially have 3 first basemen / DHs in your everyday lineup between Vinny, Salvador Perez, and Jack Caglione. That's on you. That's on you for not fixing this roster and making it better because the pitching we have talked about, both the starting rotation and the bullpen are playoff level. And for me, the rotation is World Series good. And you're going to piss away a season because you don't want to bring this kid up and we don't want to put pressure on him. Ooh, we don't want to put too much pressure on him. You've put too much pressure on him because you haven't constructed the right team offensively.
Also, the longer it goes, and the more the pressure mounts, right? Let's just get this dude up there and let him see what he can do. I think that's the conversation you have to have with him. It's not you can't talk to him about what the expectations are. You can have a conversation and say, hey, Jack, listen, don't put so much pressure on yourself, dude. We don't need you to go up there and lead this team. Just go be yourself. If things don't happen the way you think they're going to happen, it's fine. You're going to be a great baseball player. Sometimes it takes time at the major level. Have this conversation with him. Set the expectations of what you think he can handle. If you don't want all the pressure to be on him, tell him the pressure's not on you. You don't have to kill yourself if you go 0 for 4 or 0 for a series. Have these conversations. These are humans. And they can think for themselves. They can determine what pressure they feel. The game can be overwhelming at times, but the communication between front office and coaches and players has to be there, and that helps tremendously. If you just bring a guy up and don't say anything to him and just say, hey, go get him, pal, then pressure come out because you're in your own head. But as long as you're having these conversations, there's no reason to expect somebody to come up here and feel that way. Like, just have the talk, bro.
All right, let's move on. Tigers have taken the first two versus the Giants. 3-1 was the final in Motown. Jack Flaherty gets the win there. In the meantime, the Pirates, they were down 6-0 at one point out in Arizona. They put up a 7 spot on the Diamondbacks.
Drive to left field. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. And anchor down in Phoenix. Brian Reynolds, his 7th.
I believe part of a 4-hit night for Brian Reynolds on that. So let's do this quickly. Are you more worried about Arizona's stumbling bullpen or the Giants' quiet bats?
Arizona's bullpen for sure. I mean, it's been their Achilles heel pretty much all year. I asked Dalton, I said, give me some stats. I've seen it. Everyone's seen it. Their stats are unsettling. In May, 6.63 ERA for their bullpen, 1.63 WHIP in May. They have 6 blown saves in May. I think they've lost 6 of the last 7 games, Chris, and they've given up the lead in the 6th inning or later in all of those games. So it's been a problem. Now we know AJ Puck has been out. Justin Martinez just got back, so maybe that helps them a little bit. But the guys that they were relying on when those two were out, Ryan Thompson and Kevin Ginkel, just haven't gotten the job done. Ryan Thompson, 6.75 ERA in 21 games, and Ginks 12.6 in 13 games. So, like, it's just been a problem, and I don't know how you fix it. Like, yeah, getting those guys back would help, but they look like they're in trouble. It's a good team, Chris, and like there's a clear problem. So, like, they know what they have to do, but I think it's too early to go out and get relievers right now.
I don't.
But I just don't think teams are going. They have all. If you're going to them at this point in the season, they have all the leverage. You're going to have to overpay like crazy.
I get it, but when you're Arizona and you have the chance where a couple of guys could walk after this season, and this might be your best opportunity in a little while, you got to take advantage of it. I mean, Corbin Burns throws another gem, and they have nothing to show for it.
Do you think they're thinking along the lines of, man, we could sell Merrill Kelly, we could sell Zach Gallen, and we have a legitimate reason to for our fan base right now because we're one game under 500. I know they did that in 2023. I think I even said the exact same fucking thing in 2023 before they went to the World Series. I hope they don't do that. I hope they ride it out. Hope they get bullpen help because that's clearly their need.
Well, I was just, I just covered the Diamondbacks, and the fans are excited about this team.
They are. They should.
They went out. They spent money. They've got their offense is awesome. I think they could fix their bullpen, and we know that there are pieces to be had. It's just, yes, you're going to give up more right now at the end of May, beginning of June than you would at the end of July. I understand all that stuff, but so what? Go fix it. And that's why I'm going to focus more on the Giants, because I think that the Arizona Diamondbacks problem is fixable via trade. I'm not so sure the Giants are. Remember a couple of weeks ago when they were off to this awesome start and you said, well, you really don't like the Giants lineup. Remember, you actually said that to me. And I said, I'm skeptical about it. And this is why. Really, they've been carried by their 3 outfielders at different times this year and Wilmer Flores. And everybody else is pretty much stunk. And that includes Willie Adames, who came over for $182 million. And he's an awesome dude. He has struggled on both sides of the baseball. Their catching position has been a joke. Horrible. Late night Lamont, he slept through his alarm clock.
Oh,
It's been a bad year. And the problem is, I don't think there's guys out there to help them. I think they're guys that they already have. I think the dudes that you'll see traded are very similar to what San Francisco has. So they're going to have to dig out of this hole with the guys that are there. And I'm not so sure that can get it done.
Yeah, we talked about first base with them obviously being somewhere they can go get it. And now I'm just racking my brain about the first baseman that might be available.
I mean, if you wanted to do a sell job in Arizona, then Josh Naylor's available.
Yeah, and you got to think about guys that can move over to first base as well. I know I always say it's more difficult than a position that people give it credit for, but there are guys that could do it. So maybe you look outside the box first base there. But I agree with you. I mean, yeah, their offense, and maybe it's the park too. I don't know. That gets in your head a little bit, man.
Maybe. All right, one more thing still to go, but first, a quick reminder about this show on our JM Baseball YouTube channel. This week on Dugout Discussions, what made Lawrence Butler do this?
That was a nice hug.
That was not. There's a lot to hug. Zach Gallen on what will go into his free agent decision.
When I see Scott, he's here, I'll let him know that's like, listen, hey, you got to find out who's got the tightest connects to Jordan, and then we'll see what we got.
And does anyone know the name of Gallen's team?
Can you give me any kind of hint?
Well,
The snake.
What's the type of
Type
snake?
of snake.
Yeah.
The pythons?
we'll play salary cap and more on the newest edition of Dugout Discussions. It's out now on our JM Baseball YouTube channel. Oh, the people of LA, they never cease to amaze me. All right, finally, it's the reason I am supporting the fish today with my hat. Ronnie Simon, hang in there, brother. Hang in there. 6-0 lead, first inning in San Diego. 3 errors in, I think, 3 innings. Tears in his eyes, removed from the game. Heck, even the other side felt bad for him. Listen to Tatis.
It happens. It's baseball. I know everybody that has won a Gold Glove or Platinum Glove have had one of those nights. So I definitely know he's a great player. He has won MVP from Winter League over there in the Dominican, and I'm seeing him play really good baseball, and I have no doubt he's going to be a great baseball player.
I love that, by the way.
Fuck yeah, dude. I like that, Tatis. Way to go. It's the truth, though, Chris. I mean, dude, if you're in the big leagues, you played a lot of baseball in your life, and there are going to be times. I try to tell this to our youth team all the time. Like, you got to get over these games. Like, you're going to make errors. You're going to strike out. That is just – that's why baseball is the best, man. There is a ton of failure pretty much at every position except for pitcher. I mean, they still fail. They do, and you have to get over it. And that's what you have to do. I mean, yeah, it sucks. You want to dig a hole, crawl in it, and stay there. And you don't want anyone to talk to you. And it's just it becomes tough. I got into pro ball, Chris, and I thought I was a dang good infielder. And then my first couple of years, I think I led the league in errors. A lot of it had to do with the fields. That's the truth. But I lost a ton of confidence in it. It's a hard thing. But when you have teammates and guys on the opposing team kind of having your back the way we saw last night, it makes it a little bit easier. And guess what? Guarantee he's going to be out there early, taking ground balls, working to get over it.
Would you put him back in the lineup today?
I have to know him personally to kind of understand, what his mentality is. My quick reaction to that would be yes, I would.
Yeah, I think so.
Get over it. You're good. You got it. That's how I would approach it as a manager. But again, I'd have to know him personally, which I don't.
And last thing, because of the macho world we live in, why the hell is that guy crying on the field? The hell? I don't want that guy on my team if he's crying on the field. What do you say to that crowd?
I say that, we probably look at the game a little bit differently here in America. But when you're talking about guys coming from Latin America, the Dominican, Venezuela, like it's their entire life, and they are trying to help a lot of people most of the time. So it's the pressure for them is more, I think, than for most American players. That's what I'll say.
It's a great way of thinking about it. Appreciate that.
It's the truth.
Yeah. I think it's awesome.
A lot of guys, like, this is like they're out from poverty and their family's out from poverty. So when you make it to the big leagues and you're making this money and and then you feel like, oh shit, I just ruined it. Like it can become stressful and overwhelming.
Well, he's got a lot of support, certainly from what I saw. Marlins, the team kind of putting their arms around him. Young kid.
It happens to, like Tatis said, it happens to everybody. Remember Matthew Vicroy when he got pulled from the Nationals game as a catcher. They stole 1 million bases on him. He had some errors, and same thing happened with him. The game it means a lot, dude. Like, you work so hard to get to the big leagues, and when you're trying to establish yourself and you have a night like this, man, you feel like it all crumbles. And it's not the case, but that's what you feel.
Yeah, I hope he gets out there. I hope he fields the first ball cleanly and moves on. And
it's going to find him. It's going to find him if he's playing first ball.
It's going to find if he's out there and Tatis is hitting the leadoff, he's probably going to be aiming for him, even though he just said those nice things. Probably going to be like, all right, bro, let's see how you're doing. All right. Fun one today. As always, leave your comments, your suggestions, all sorts of fun stuff. You've been great there in the comments section. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you Thursday on Baseball Today.